What if the world you wake up to each morning is not the only one? What if the images that flicker in your mind at night are not illusions, not meaningless static from a tired brain, but portals? What if dreams are not private hallucinations, but journeys into other dimensions that exist side by side with ours, invisible until we close our eyes? It sounds impossible. It sounds like fantasy. And yet, throughout human history, people have asked the same question in whispers. Where do we go when we dream? For some, the answer was simple. Dreams were the voice of gods. For others, they were just tricks of the brain. But again and again, strange stories and unsettling facts appear that do not fit the neat, scientific explanation. So tonight, let us open that hidden door. Together, we will follow the trail of clues, from ancient philosophy to modern physics, from personal stories to cutting-edge experiments, and see where it leads. Maybe, by the end, you will never look at your dreams the same way again. Our entire sense of reality rests on one fragile foundation: perception. Your eyes capture only a thin slice of the electromagnetic spectrum. Your ears catch just a narrow band of vibrations. Your brain fills in the rest. The world you believe is real is already a construction. Your brain edits, smooths, and sometimes invents what it cannot explain. Think of optical illusions. Two identical lines appear different in length. A still image seems to move. A sound you're sure you heard was never there. If waking perception can be fooled so easily, then why assume dreams are any less real than waking life? Neuroscientists know this well. The brain doesn't record reality like a camera. It simulates reality like a storyteller. In fact, the same regions that process waking sight and sound are active in dreams. When you dream of a voice, your auditory cortex lights up. When you dream of running, your motor cortex fires. To the brain, the difference between dreaming and waking is not as clear as we like to believe. Philosophers noticed this long before brain scans existed. Plato spoke of shadows on the cave wall, mistaking illusions for truth. Descartes wondered if an evil demon could be deceiving us. The story is over 2,000 years old, and yet it still shakes us, because it hints at something terrifying. If the brain can simulate reality so well that we cannot tell the difference, how do we know that our waking world isn't just another layer of dream? When you step into a dream, you are stepping into a reality crafted with the same materials: perception, memory, sensation. Maybe dreams aren't mere illusions. Maybe they are alternate dimensions our minds can access, built from the same code as waking life. Skeptics will say, dreams are random, just broken images stitched together from your day. But history is full of examples where dreams seem to predict events with eerie accuracy. Take Abraham Lincoln. Days before his assassination, Lincoln confided to a close friend that he had dreamed of a funeral at the White House. He asked a soldier in the dream, "Who is dead in the White House?" The soldier replied, "The president." A coincidence? Perhaps, but not the only one. In 1912, a British woman named Annie Ward had a nightmare that the ship she was about to board would sink in icy waters. Terrified, she canceled her ticket. Days later, the Titanic sank. Even in our personal lives, many have experienced déjà vu, the haunting sensation that a moment has already happened. Sometimes it mirrors a dream so vividly that people are left shaken. Science offers explanations: a glitch in memory, a misfire in the brain. But for those who feel it, the experience is undeniable. Carl Jung, the great psychologist, collected thousands of such stories. He called them meaningful coincidences, synchronicities that seem to suggest a hidden order in reality. For Jung, dreams were not meaningless noise, but windows into a deeper layer of existence, one that connects minds, symbols, and perhaps even futures. If a dream can echo into waking life, warning, guiding, even predicting, then we must ask, how? If dreams were only random brain static, how could they ever align with events not yet lived? Unless, when we dream, we are not just shuffling old memories. We are tuning into another dimension, one where time flows differently, one where possibilities unfold before they crystallize into our waking world. Could it be that when you dream, you step into a version of reality where tomorrow has all... Lucid dreamers know they are dreaming. Some can manipulate the dream world, flying through impossible landscapes, speaking with dream characters, even altering the flow of events. Consider this. If dreams are random hallucinations, how can someone consistently train their mind to navigate and shape them? How can they rehearse actions, explore environments, and solve complex problems while their body lies motionless in bed? Scientific studies confirm it is real. In one experiment, lucid dreamers agreed to perform specific eye movements in dreams, signals that could be measured by machines while they slept. And the results were astonishing. The eye movements were executed exactly as planned, proving that consciousness can operate within a dream state. Lucid dreaming raises a provocative question. If the mind can consciously interact with dream realities, are these dreams merely fantasies, or are they gateways to dimensions where conscious intention has real effect? Some cultures have long recognized this power. In Tibetan Buddhism, dream yoga trains practitioners to become aware and lucid during dreams, navigating alternate realities with purpose. The Navajos speak of night walking, where certain individuals travel through spiritual landscapes in sleep. Lucid dreamers may be the modern explorers of these hidden worlds. They are not bound by walls, time, or gravity. If reality itself is a layered construct, lucid dreams hint at the existence of other strata, dimensions parallel to our own, waiting to be accessed. Imagine this. Two people in different cities, perhaps continents apart, describe the same dream in detail. Same location, same events, even the same strange symbols. Skeptics cry coincidence, but patterns emerge when such stories are gathered over decades. Carl Jung again noticed something extraordinary. He proposed the idea of the collective unconscious, a realm of shared symbols, archetypes, and memories beyond individual experience. He observed that myths, legends, and dreams across the world often share strikingly similar imagery, despite no cultural contact. Modern research hints at something even stranger. Dream telepathy experiments suggest that under certain conditions, people can influence or share aspects of each other's dreams. While the phenomenon is far from universally accepted, hundreds of documented cases challenge the notion that dreams are entirely private. Think about it. When two minds occupy the same dreamscape, are they merely imagining each other, or stepping into a common dimension that exists independently of them both? Could it be that these fleeting encounters are glimpses into a broader architecture of reality, a hidden multiverse threaded through our subconscious? Dreams may not obey the same laws as our waking world. Time stretches, contracts, or loops back on itself. You can live entire lifetimes in the span of a few minutes. Places merge impossibly. Objects defy physics. For centuries, scientists dismissed these anomalies as quirks of the brain. But recent advances in theoretical physics hint at a more radical explanation. Concepts like the multiverse, quantum entanglement, and extra dimensions suggest that reality itself is far stranger than our senses perceive. Quantum physics reveals particles that exist in multiple states at once, until observed. Space can bend. Time is not absolute. What if dreams are glimpses of this deeper layer? A dimension where possibilities exist before they collapse into the waking world. Neuroscience may one day confirm this. Already, research into brainwave patterns, REM cycles, and neural plasticity shows that the brain in dreams behaves differently. More fluid, more adaptive, more quantum-like in its logic. It is almost as if the dream state allows the mind to interact with these hidden realms. Lucid dreamers, premonition experiences, and shared dreams may all be signs that we are capable of perceiving alternate dimensions, that consciousness itself is not confined to the physical body. And if dreams are indeed a window into other dimensions, then every night, each of us holds the key to worlds far beyond the limits of waking reality. At this point, the patterns start to emerge. Dreams are not just random firing neurons. They may be invitations into other realities. Lucid dreaming proves that consciousness can act inside these worlds. Premonitions and synchronicities hint that these dimensions may influence our waking life. Shared dreams suggest that reality is not just personal. It may be interconnected. Physics whispers that the fabric of existence is far more fluid than we ever imagined. Every night, as you close your eyes, you might step into a dimension where time, space, and causality behave differently. Perhaps it is a realm where, and yet, most of us forget. The moment we wake, the memory fades. The strange landscapes, the impossible architectures, the whispers of other minds, all slip through our fingers, leaving only a lingering sense that something extraordinary has occurred. Could it be that life itself is but one layer of a much deeper reality? Could it be that our dreams are the bridge, the doorway that reminds us we are far greater, far more connected than our waking senses would have us believe? Most people experience dreams that feel eerily prophetic. You dream of an event, and days, weeks, or even months later, fragments of that dream unfold in reality. Skeptics call it coincidence, but the sheer volume of anecdotal evidence, combined with well-documented cases, demands attention. In one famous example, a woman dreamt vividly of a plane crash months before it occurred. She described details of the aircraft, the sequence of events, and even certain passengers. While this is extreme, countless individuals report similar premonitions, from minor personal events to global phenomena. Neuroscientists are beginning to examine the mechanisms behind these occurrences. Some theories suggest that during REM sleep, the brain operates in a state of heightened pattern recognition, synthesizing past experiences and subtle environmental cues. In essence, the mind may predict outcomes before they occur, giving the sensation of foresight. But what if it's more than prediction? What if dreams occasionally tap into a hidden temporal layer of reality, a dimension where the future exists in potential form? From this perspective, precognitive dreams are not hallucinations, but glimpses of possibilities yet to unfold, waiting to be observed. Nightmares terrify, confuse, and haunt us. They seem random, yet some share patterns that suggest deeper meaning. Across cultures and centuries, nightmares have been interpreted as messages from the spiritual world, omens, or encounters with forces beyond comprehension. Psychologists explain nightmares as a means of processing trauma, stress, and fear. And yet, the intensity and clarity of some dreams defy simple explanation. In certain cases, nightmares have predicted accidents, warned of danger, or even influenced decisions in waking life. What if nightmares are more than psychological processes? What if they are encounters with dimensions parallel to our own? Realms that mirror danger, possibility, or moral Science shows that during REM sleep, the brain forms novel connections between unrelated concepts. Dreams can bypass logic and habit, revealing solutions our conscious mind cannot reach. Lucid dreamers have used this intentionally, solving equations, practicing skills, and even rehearsing complex scenarios. If dreams are dimensions of possibility, then they are not merely entertainment for the brain. They are laboratories where thought experiments unfold in real time. Why do dreams feature recurring symbols? Flying, falling, being chased, or meeting strangers? Carl Jung theorized that these are archetypes, fundamental elements of the collective unconscious. Across time and geography, humans dream of similar imagery, suggesting a universal symbolic language. Modern dream researchers suggest that symbols may serve as bridges between waking and alternate realities. Perhaps certain images, objects, or experiences in dreams exist independently, waiting to be observed by consciousness. Dreams could then be interpreted not only psychologically, but cosmically, as messages encoded in a language beyond our everyday senses. Experimental research is only beginning to touch the surface. Using EEG monitoring, fMRI scans, and virtual reality simulations, scientists are mapping the mechanics of dream states. Some experiments even suggest that consciousness in sleep can influence the external world in subtle ways, through body signals, shared experiences, or predictive phenomena. Dream travel, once considered superstition or folklore, is gaining attention as a legitimate field of inquiry. Practitioners of lucid dreaming, meditation, and certain spiritual traditions report consistent results. The evidence hints at the astonishing possibility. Dreams are not merely private hallucinations, but journeys into alternate dimensions. Taken together, the facts form a pattern impossible to ignore. Dreams are more than random neural noise. Consciousness operates differently in sleep, capable of shaping reality within dreams. Prophetic, shared, and recurring dreams suggest hidden dimensions. Nightmares, symbols, and patterns may serve as messages or portals. Physics, psychology, and anecdotal evidence all hint at a multiverse accessible through dreaming. Every night, each of us closes our eyes and steps into a realm unbound by time, space, or possibility. Sometimes we float. Sometimes we fight. Sometimes we encounter others or glimpse the future. And most of the time, we forget. Yet the question remains, if dreams are gateways to other dimensions, what lies beyond the veil? Are these realms infinite? Are they shaped by intention, chance, or something beyond comprehension? And what does it mean for waking life, for free will, and for the nature of existence itself? Perhaps, as we explore these hidden landscapes, lucid or unconscious, terrifying or wondrous, we are glimpsing a truth both exhilarating and humbling, that reality is far more complex than our senses reveal, and that the mind itself is the ultimate explorer. So tonight, as you lay your head on the pillow, consider this. The next dream you experience may not be just a dream. It may be an invitation, a doorway, a step into a dimension where the impossible becomes possible, and where you are only beginning to understand the vastness of what it means to be conscious. Sleep well and step carefully.